Warning, the Good Times podcast features foul language and insensitive comments performed by professionals. Accordingly, Good Times podcast must insist that no one should play this show out loud during work, at school, or with your grandma. Enjoy the show.
On this week's episode of the Good Times podcast, have you started noticing that your weenie doesn't work? Well, I can give you one big summer secret.
We also talk about itches, the sharp ones, and what the hell is an itch?
Not only that, but we preview one of our most anticipated shows, GTP Conspiracy.
All of this and much more emanating live from a conspiratorial GTP hole. This is the Good Times Podcast.
Good Times Podcast. Hey, y'all having a good time? Having a good time. Always a good time. Now what the hell are you waiting for? Donuts.
Welcome on in, everyone. I am the assassin of the slaved mind, the executioner, and if you don't know, now you know. And fresh out the box. Stop, look and watch. Ready yet? Get set. It's Almanac Jack.
Welcome, everybody, from my road to you. This is another episode of Good Times. Yes, this is the Good Times Podcast, where there's good laughs, good fun, and it's always a good time.
Damn fucking right.
Executional. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty damn good. It's been a fucking... Actually, this week's actually gone by pretty well, but yeah.
Really?
It's not too bad.
Tell me all about it.
Yeah, well, I just woke up and that's it, It's been a good week. No.
You know what? You do that 7 times in a week, you should be all right.
Yeah, that means you're living, I think. That's from what I heard.
You also need to be doing this.
Oh, yeah. Briefing. I forgot.
Yes. Anal briefing.
Yeah, so,
You need to put some briefs over your anal.
So it's actually been a pretty chill week for the most part, as I told you that I started, or as I mentioned in the previous podcast where I was talking about doing Learning Ambassador, where I was training these day ones and day twos. Oh, man, I've had some weird ones so far. So first and foremost, I had one where, so there's this guy, he's from like a different country, and he doesn't really speak English very well.
Do you know where he's from?
No, I don't know, because I wasn't able to really talk to him because he doesn't really speak English.
You weren't trying to figure out his accent?
No.
Like, well, it sounds kind of Indian, but it also sounds Australian.
Well, I talked to this one guy. He said that he might be some type of Laotian.
Okay.
So the guy who was trying to help me, he was Hmong, and he comes up and he's like, hey, so what's going on? And I was like, let him know. I was like, hey, he has a language barrier. I don't know what the fuck he's saying. And he's like, okay. And he went over there and he's talking to the guy, and he walks back and he's like, yeah, I don't know. I think he's some type of Laotian. So then...
Which ocean?
A specific ocean. Anyways, so we go. So I have our learning trainer come up and get him. They take him back. The learning trainer, about an hour later, messages me back and goes, "Hey, did that guy ever go back to you?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Oh shit." So it turns out the guy ends up. So they go to talk to him. They figure out that he's good enough to work, he knows enough Spanish, knows enough English to work.
Okay.
And so they sent him back, but he gets lost. In the building,
or what?
In the building, trying to get back to where we were.
Okay.
And then just couldn't find us, so he said, "Fuck it," and he left.
No way.
He just fucking left. Dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he get in trouble for that, or?
I mean, I don't think you get in trouble for it necessarily. It's just one of those things where it's you come in the next day and you got to either redo day one or you just got to quit, whatever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And dude, it was I don't know what the fuck happened to the guy, honestly, but He was an older dude. Like he was probably like in his like I would say in his 50s probably.
Oh, okay.
But he's like
What's
one
his
of
name?
those.
Do you know?
Oh shit! It was like an Asian name or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
Khan Jr.
well, I was gonna say because like the guy was like he was like an older guy like in his 50s, but he was like really dark, so you could tell like he's like been like he's still like working out in the fields and stuff like that, like doing like you know
Manual labor
and stuff like that. So I figured he was gonna be able to come in and do the job, and he more than likely would have been able to, but I just couldn't tell what the fuck he was saying, and he couldn't tell what the fuck I was saying.
You kind of need that.
Yeah, so it's
Just a
like
bit.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, so much more happened on that shit, but it's still been pretty fun for the most part, you know. So crazy stuff. It's been a pretty good week. What about you? How's it hanging?
How's it hanging is gonna have to do with this headline I'm gonna read you.
Oh god.
But it's been hot.
Okay.
It's been pretty dang hot. We've had like all week long has been hundreds.
Oh yeah.
So my AC's been on most of the time.
Man,
and
that bill's going up.
Yeah, I already know it.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I mean, my house isn't like huge, and it doesn't take too much like air for it to cool down.
You're all, yeah, we have it like 59, just to barely get it down, you know. It's not gonna come out that much.
Dude, can you imagine like people that do have their house like, you know, the thermostat set to like 55 or something like that, and it's like you walk in there and it's just cold as fuck. Like Jesus Christ.
So the one guy has his thermostat set to 65. I have my thermos set to 69. You know, it's just you know what I mean.
I mean, how else would you have your thermos set?
Yeah,
right.
79.
Well, here we'll just get right on into it.
Okay.
Speaking of thermoses.
I'm all coming up with all these fucking headlines you're about to talk about.
Yeah, you're like just making the segue so good. So this is from the Daily Mail.
Okay.
And it says, soaring temperatures are giving men summer penises. Doctors confirm the heat wave is having a positive effect on the size of male genitalia.
Oh my god.
Boy, is it ever. And here's a couple bullet points for it. Men claim soaring temperatures improve their erections and penis sizes.
Wow.
Now, that's always sort of been true. You know, you sag in the summer and you shrivel in the winter, right?
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. You know, just jump into a pool. You know, you're not coming out with an elephant trunk. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, unless you just get a random fucking boner while it's like cold as shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're all just standing there and you're like, what the fuck just going on?
Unless like a really hot chick is swimming by you and then like her foot like happens to like touch your thigh or something like that, and you're like, oh.
And you're all, fuck.
Yeah. Like you just get like a good enough wiggle.
Yeah.
You know. Let's see. Heat wave is turning many males into showers, not growers, they claim. So I'm guessing during the summertime, a bunch of dudes are just walking around showing their dicks to people. That hasn't been happening around here to me.
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Doctor says sweating and drinking more water makes male genitalia bloat. You ever had a bloated penis?
I mean,
that wasn't on purpose?
Are you? I honestly have never heard of that before.
Or bloated balls that you haven't drained on your own?
Isn't that called blue?
That's blue balls, yeah.
Blue chew balls?
Yeah. You ever had blue balls?
Is that a question on physically or a mental blue ball?
Well, just the effect.
Term?
The effect of blue ball,
dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, when you go on those little spells when you're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
And you're just like, fuck me. Either that or when you like get pretty close and then they like dip out or something like that. You know what I mean? They get scared.
Yep.
I can't do it.
Yeah. And it's just that weird feeling in like your lower gut. And you're just like, what the hell?
And you're just like, you're all just laying there like, the fuck am I supposed to do now?
I think it's the sensation of your balls going like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then, oh. That's gotta be what it is. Like it's
my
them
God.
pouting.
Yeah, dude, seriously. It probably is.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like a hormone effect or something like that.
Oh, sure.
Like where it's like the hormone.
Like the mating, thing.
Yeah. So like the hormone, like when you release it, it's like, oh my God, you know what I mean? But then when it like gets held back, like it gets held back and there's like a feeling like, obviously there's the feeling, but it gets held back and it's like in this pouch, like inside of like your adrenal gland or something like that. And it's just like, and then like there's like a gland that's like, fuck man, like get out of here. Like what are you doing here? And it's all upset.
I'm trying to jizz.
Yeah. And your stomach's upset too. And it's like, fuck man. And it goes all the way up to your mind, bro. And it's just sending signals and your head's like, fucking
yeah.
fuck. Look what you did. And you fucking suck. You got no fucking game. And
Yeah.
girls hate you.
Yeah. You're never getting any cooter. Let's see. Another
beaver.
doctor believes that hot temperatures cause blood vessels to widen and swell. Obviously.
Yeah.
You ever put your hand around your wiener? He also added there's a reason people don't take honeymoons to the North Pole.
What?
Well, because they're talking about like how like the heat will make your dick bigger. Nobody goes to like a cold place for a honeymoon, you know. But yeah, so summer penises. Men, it's our time to shine. Don't wear any boxers with your shorts. Let that thermos swing around.
Just let it go. Just let it go.
Shoot, if the women can do it with their titties, their summer titties, we can do it with our summer penises.
Damn right. Summer penis. What the fuck?
Hey, you know how like women like they'll get their titties pierced and then you can see them through the shirt or whatever? You can like see the little the bar or whatever, the little balls that aren't their nipples.
Oh yeah.
What if dudes started doing that with their summer penises and you see the piercing through the shorts?
Or it's just it looks just like a nipple because your dick's so small. So
Oh, that would be like the one thing that would save a guy.
you're all, did you get your nipple pierced on your dick?
Or the girls would be like, oh, that's his wiener.
Oh man, that's all bad.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and tell me about this dream that you were going to be telling me about.
Oh yeah, so it
going on there?
had to do with my penis. No, I'm just playing. So I actually
Your
had
summer penis or your winter penis?
my fall penis.
Oh,
When it falls from
when it falls from your shorts.
so I don't know about you, but over the past like month or so, I've been having like really vivid dreams.
Is it the 5G?
It might be. Might be the 5G.
I've been having dreams too. I know Janet has.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
there's
It's
a
in the air.
there's a couple explanations or there's a couple things that came up in my mind. First and foremost, when the lockdown started, like a couple weeks in, a lot of people were having vivid dreams, and they were calling it like, what were they calling? Pandemic dreaming or some shit. So I was like, okay, first and foremost, dumb as fuck. Second most, what I'm thinking is it was actually people who are always on the fucking go, never had any time to sleep, like actually sleep, and then they finally got to rest because they couldn't do anything, couldn't go out, stuff like that. So finally, when they started hitting that REM, it was like boom, boom, easy.
yeah, here come the dreams.
Right? And so for me, so I haven't been getting any more rest than usual, but I just been eating better in general. So I think that's what's been happening for me. So I've had like all kinds of random ass dreams, and like if I don't hit dream sleep, like I'm gonna be miserable the rest of the day because I'm like, fuck, dude, I didn't even like get a dream. So there's this dream that I had. It was super fucking random where I had to. So first and foremost, on my phone, I have this notepad. So I think I mentioned it like in a couple podcasts ago, but I have a notepad on my phone, and basically if I ever have an idea or anything or I see something, I'll write it down on my phone. So in this dream, I was walking through this random like arcade, and I was shooting the little basketball hoops.
Okay.
And I look over, and these two guys about to fight, and something stupid fucking happens. I think one of them gets like too close to the other one. Looks like they're about to make out. So then I pulled out my phone and I pulled out my phone and I start like I put it down on the phone like, okay, you know, like, so I was like, I can't wait to tell this on the show. So then the rest of the fucking dream goes by, and I get to this point where I'm hanging out with my niece, and then all of a sudden, Billie Eilish is there with us.
Okay.
Okay, so Billie Eilish is like one of her favorites, and like I've heard a couple of her songs, pretty cool. And so, so as we're hanging out with her, I'm like laying down, and Billie Eilish is kind of sitting next to me, and she looks over at me, and in my mind, I'm like, she's gonna turn into a zombie or a demon or some shit. And sure enough, her fucking eyes turn black as fuck, just fucking swell up, and I was like, oh shit. So we start fighting, and my niece is just sitting there on the couch the whole time, like,
She's
nothing's
like, don't
happening.
hit Billie Eilish.
No, like nothing's happening. Like
Okay.
she's not moving or anything. Maybe my brain is like not moving these characters. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
She's
Billie,
your niece is a, what do you call it, a NPC?
yeah, she's non-playable at this point, and so she's not doing anything. Anyways, so Mr. William Eyelash, it fucking jumps at me, and I was like, fuck. So I start punching the shit out of her, dude. And I remember because like in the dream, I'm like hearing the as I'm punching, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm fucking her up.
Don't tell me this turns into you waking up and punching your knees or something.
That would have been fucked up. I would have felt so bad. No, so I'm like, I'm fucking her up. But then she's a fucking demon. So
Sure.
she starts fucking me up too.
Yeah.
She's like bashing the shit out of my face. And then finally I get into this position where I grab her head and just fucking pull it off.
Oh my God.
I literally took off her head in the fucking dream. I was like, "Ah," and I just fucking pulled it off, right?
Off with her head.
And so before I got into the house, I had this brown bag and I put it in the kitchen, right? So I had the head in my fucking hand. And I'm like, I just fucking killed her. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So I go to the kitchen and I open up the door and I just throw the head in there, right? I was like, fuck this. And I go back and sit down. The owners of the house come in from the kitchen side, right? And I walk out and I'm like, oh shit, they're going to see the head. Luckily, when I threw the fucking head into the kitchen, it rolled off the table and into the brown bag that I brought in conveniently.
Yeah.
So then nobody saw it, and I just walked out back and fucking threw that shit out. What happened to the body? I have no idea. I have no idea what happened to that body.
Disintegrate?
I ended up
Medusa style? Or what?
Yeah, I ended up waking up and I checked my phone because I was like, all right. Because I was like, all right, a fucking what's it called? I was like, oh, I have notes in my notepad, right?
Yeah.
Nope, they're gone. I
Oh.
was like, fuck, dude, I did it in my dream. And I was like, that's so fucking weird. Like, I pulled out my phone and I literally did put notes in my phone and they were gone.
Wow.
It's fucking weird, right?
Huh.
Have you ever had a dream like that where like you wrote something down or like you thought
Yeah.
you did something?
Yeah, I've had plenty of dreams where I'm like, okay, I did this or I did that, and then like when I wake up, I find out that I didn't do it, even though like it felt like so real, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, maybe I went somewhere and did something, and then I'm just like, what the hell? Like I could have swore I just did this.
Yeah,
You know, like you
yeah.
have to do it again.
Right.
But maybe it's like my subconscious saying like, hey, you have to do this today, and then like I do it in my dream.
Yeah.
So then by the time I do it in real life, I'm like, what the hell? I thought I just did this. Like maybe that's where like deja vu comes from.
Maybe that
You know?
that's pretty close.
Because it could be subconsciously like, you have to do this. So then by the time you get to it, you're like, oh, I already did this.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what? And it's funny you bring up deja vus. I don't know about you, but in the last like 2 or 3 years, I've become more observant about deja vus, and I feel like I start pinpointing when I did that, the reason, the thing that I'm having deja vu on, and I start observing it more, and I'm like, I wouldn't say tapping into my brain like I'm some fucking.
What do you mean? Like you would notice the times of when you had deja vu, or
Yeah, like
or
I'll-
like what it was about?
Yeah, so like I'll notice it and then think about it like right on the spot and then start pulling from my brain. All right, when did this happen? When did this happen? Why am I having deja vu and stuff like that? I don't know. It's just like I have a completely different approach to it than I used to before. Like before, you know, like when you're young and stuff like that and you have deja vu, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, I just hey man, I just had deja vu. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And
And you start telling all your friends.
Yeah. Hey man, I had deja vu. You know, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you try to impress some girl, be like, yo, I just had deja vu. It was about this. Oh my God. No way. I've had deja vu before too. And then she never shuts up.
Oh. Yeah. So fucking deja vu, hella weird.
That's pretty crazy. But I know a lot of people haven't like been having dreams or whatever, because like Janet woke up mad the other day. I think it might have been yesterday.
You cheated on her in her dream?
Well, she woke up and she was all mad. And like she even said it too. Like she was, you know, like she still had her eyes closed or whatever. She's like, I'm mad. I'm like, at what? Whatever. And she's like, I'm
Why are you mad, Patrick? Because I can't see my forehead.
But this one was, and I forgot exactly what it was, but it was because like, I think it was like because I didn't share something with her, or like I ate all the rest of something or something like that. Or like I didn't give her something or something. I don't know. But that's what it basically came down to. And she was like all pissed off in the dream. And I already know like when she's like pissed off at a dream, so I'll just be like, all right, whatever, fuck it, be mad. I don't care. Because I know it's over something stupid, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So then eventually she'll make a joke about it or whatever, and then it'll be all good after that.
Right, right.
And but when she has dreams though, it's weird because she gets really drained, like energy wise.
Oh, I
like her dreams take a lot of energy out of her. Mm-hmm. So like she'll wake up from a dream, especially like bad dreams. She'll wake up and she'll be like oh, I'm just tired. I had a bad dream, whatever. And like you can tell like she's like ready to go back to sleep again because she's just so physically drained out of the nightmare or whatever it happened in the dream. I guess took a lot out of her.
Dude, the nightmares
power.
The nightmares will fucking get you fucked up for sure.
Yeah,
like mentally, where you're waking up and you're sweaty, thirsty, fucking like, you know, and tired again. You know what I mean? But then you're like, I don't want to go back to sleep. I don't want that shit to happen again. You know what I mean?
I haven't had a bad dream in a long time.
Really?
Yeah. If I have dreams, it's either like something just totally random, or sometimes it'll be funny. Because one time I woke myself up from laughing from a dream, and this wasn't too long ago either. I was just laying there, and I'm all, and I woke up. I'm like, what the fuck was going on?
Oh man, I mean, I've had a bunch of random dreams, like bad dreams. I don't really have bad dreams anymore because I figured out how to wake myself up from a dream, especially nightmares. So that means like nightmares about to start. Nope, I'm out. Like,
yeah, I remember you saying something on the show like a few weeks ago or whatever about like how you were able to wake up from dreams now and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I don't get nightmares
Okay.
unless the only way I do get nightmares or have bad dreams is
if your niece and Billie Eilish are in there.
Yeah, so like something like that where like the dream is like super vivid and it's ongoing, because I'll say this, like that part of the dream was like, I felt like it was like 20 minutes in, because I was doing a bunch of other shit before that.
Okay.
Random shit. And so like I get like 20 minutes into the dream and then I'm like, what the fuck? But like if she like got to the point where she was about to kill me or something, oh, I'm waking up. Like,
oh, for
you
sure.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but
You're
for
like,
some
all
reason,
right, done.
yeah, but for some reason I was like, and popped that head off, and I was like, all right, I'm good.
There you go. Pop that bitch's head off.
And then, you know what? Just to bring it up real quick too, with the vivid dreams, have you ever have you ever had a dream about you having a DUI? I've had multiple of those fucking dreams.
Really?
Like I've had multiple dreams of getting a DUI, and I've had multiple dreams of doing something like illegal and going to jail for it.
Okay.
Like for life, like bad shit. Like I killed somebody.
Life.
For life. So like, and dude, it's like the most helpless feeling. Like when like, and all I can think of is like you get like this sadness that comes upon you, and you're like,
Really?
fuck, dude, I'm gonna be in prison for the rest
I've
of
never
my
had
life.
a dream like that.
Like my life is like ruined. Like it's over. And then I'll wake up and I'm like, oh, my life's still good. All right.
All right, let's go fucking drink.
So yeah, crazy, dude. It's like hell of shit.
Have you ever woken up? Because this is going to lead to our next topic. Have you ever woken up from a sharp itch?
A sharp itch?
Yeah, like you ever had an itch where you're like say like, you know, you have an itch, you know, I don't know, on your arm, whatever, and you're like, like you have to like scratch it like hella hard because it itches so bad.
I don't think I've ever had that.
Or like on your back or anything like that.
Oh,
Nowhere?
on the back for sure.
Not just saying your arm, but anywhere in general. Like where you just have like a really sharp itch. Like why do some itches itch more than the others? You know, does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree. That's a good question. Probably nerves.
Well, I was thinking maybe it's because your hair, like say like right here, I had like a little itch right here on the side of my hand. There's a lot of hairs right here. Maybe it could be like a couple of hairs crisscrossing each other.
Yeah, they just fell down.
Yeah,
and they just start touching it.
or like when you get like an itch in your eyebrow or something like that.
True.
It could be hairs crisscrossing each other or whatever.
Crisscross.
But what is an itch though? Like I don't get what an itch is. Like what if it's on a place that you don't like in the middle of your palm? Like what is an itch? Like why does it itch? Let's look it up.
Okay.
Let's look it up. Like, what is an itch? Like, because I asked my doctor one time, a long time ago, but I was still a kid, and I think his thing was like, oh, well, he's a kid, so fuck him,
The fucking picture.
Man scratching his back.
So here we go. Itch, also known as, what the fuck is that say?
Pruritus or automatic tickle. I like the automatic tickle.
Is a sensation that causes desire or reflex to scratch. Itch has resisted many attempts to be classified as one type of sensory experience.
Okay.
So that's probably what it is right there. Itch has many similarities to pain, and while both are unpleasant sensory experiences, their behavioral response patterns are different. Pain creates a withdrawal reflex, which leads to a scratch reflex. Let's see, what the fuck does that say?
Unmyelinated.
Melanoma nerves.
Mesothelioma nerves.
Yeah. Nerve fibers for itch and pain both originate in the skin. However, information for this is conveyed certainly in two distinct systems that both use the same nerve bundle and
Spinothalamic
tract.
Yeah.
Spinothalamic tract.
Too many fucking big words here.
I know, damn.
It's like this is science or something.
So basically, as they were saying, it kind of has like the same. It has to do with nerves and stuff like that.
Yeah, I assume so.
I'm guessing that it's like the nerves, or like the skin. It becomes like, I'm trying to think of the fucking word for irritated.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it like sends like a signal to your nerve, whatever it is, the nerve right there. And it just has like a different reaction, I guess. Because like he was saying, like the pain is like the fucking wiki had to do with like withdrawal reflex. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's so fucking weird. Like it's hard to explain. That's like a good one.
Because like, with pain or whatever, like, say you get a pain on your arm, your natural thing is to like grab it to make it feel better, right? But then if you get an itch, it's kind of the same thing, but it's to cause pain to make it feel better.
That's true.
That's weird. Like you're hurting yourself just to scratch that itch to get whatever it is.
Right. I can scratch right now.
Hell yeah, I know. Everybody just start itching right now.
It felt good. It felt good.
But it's got like the disorders and stuff. Like it's obvious. Dry skin or fucking athlete's foot or whatever, or mosquito bites or whatever like that. I mean, that makes sense, huh?
I said that's not a bite. That's a bite.
That's not a bite. It's a bite. A chicken bite.
A chicken bite.
Come to Outback Steakhouse where we have new chicken bites.
I don't know about you, man, but I've been getting bit up on my legs a lot lately, dude.
Over at Janet's parents' house, I got one bite over here, one bite over here underneath my arms. But other than that, I was good. Probably because I was wearing pants.
Pants. So, I mean, they have other medical disorders like diabetes mellitus, hyperparathyroidism, iron deficiency and anemia, jaundice, and cholestasis, malignancy. I want to say it's malignancy. It has to do with Hodgkin's disease. Polycythemia, psychiatric disease called psychiatric disease or a psychogenic itch, thyroid illness, and uremia.
Urania?
Oh, shit.
I thought that was radioactive.
Yeah.
Oh, look at it right there. Chlorine, a drug used in the treatment of prevention of malaria. But you know what chlorine's also in?
That's chloric. That's chloroquine.
Oh, chloroquine. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, chloroquine.
Oh. Well, you know what? Chlorine makes you itch too.
No, that's the one that people should be using for
Rona, that's the one
the Rona,
talking about.
But the scientists
Yeah.
Paid scientists. Say
Yeah,
no.
we'll see. Oh, look at the last one at the very end. Menopause.
Oh no.
Putting a pause on your mennos.
Menopause or changes in hormonal balances
this thing
associated
here.
with aging.
Look at that chipmunk. Dude, why do animals be able to scratch themselves so good, dude? Because, like, I'll watch my dog scratch, and, like, yo, like, the way that the fucking leg is going so fast. I'm like, yo, I can barely do a...
Right.
Like, it's not fair. I wish I could scratch that fast.
But you know what's the funniest part about it too is the way they look when they're getting in there really good. Just and
Yeah.
then their other leg starts going too, and they look like a freaking retarded and shit because they're like,
You ever see a dog, like, they'll slowly scratch the inside of their ear?
Oh.
Like they'll just go,
to get it used to it?
and like their face has that same face. We're just like, oh, yeah, fuck.
That kind of reminds me of like when they're licking themselves too. Like, you ever had a dog like an inside dog in the middle of the night, and everything's just pitch silent. All of a sudden you just hear
No, my dog does that shit all the time.
like, what the fuck is that?
I gotta yell at her sometimes because like there was a time where she would just keep going in, dude.
Dude,
I'm like, stop licking your ass.
she's probably on her period,
Like,
bro.
get out of your ass. And I'm like,
You know
fuck.
dogs get periods?
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
Shit.
One of my friend's sister's dog, their period would be so bad that they'd have to put a diaper on the dog. I'm like, damn.
I've seen that too.
That sucks.
I've seen that
Poor
too.
dog.
Yeah, my sister's dog does that.
Really?
They put a... But I don't think it's because it's super bad. I just think it's because she's an inside dog and they just don't want her on the fucking
Carpet and...
carpet. And or they don't have carpet, but on the couch and stuff.
Oh, okay.
On the couch?
Well, that makes sense then. But that's so weird because like I never knew that like dogs would get like that bad. Fucking dripping all over the place.
But you know what's funny is that like my sister's dogs, those are the first dogs that we've all had that were girl dogs.
Really?
Yeah, we grew up with nothing but with boy dogs. It's like crazy. So when I seen like they get fucking periods, I was like, what the fuck? I was blown away.
I know. We've had a boy and a girl dog, but because the dogs were outside, then I probably just never noticed.
True.
Uh-oh. Took the rubber thingy off of your thingy here.
Oh my god.
Hopefully I can get it back in before he notices.
I already noticed. Plot
Okay,
twist.
well, how about we take a break right here, and on the other side, we got some shit to talk about drive-thrus and a few things about mascaras in stores. But
Okay.
but that's on your end. Damn, that was a long yawn.
I know.
All right.
hurt.
Well, this is the Good Times Podcast, and we'll see you on the other side.
It's the end of the world, but ain't nobody believe in the ruler of the world. It's a demon. Everybody sleeping, chasing the devil, chasing their dreams, and they ain't paying attention to the seeds.
And we're back. Back here on the Good Times Podcast. I hope you enjoyed that commercial break, because I know I did. Because I don't even think there's going to be a commercial or anything. Those are my beans.
Your beans?
My beans.
Hell yeah. Let's get some beans.
Damn right.
Speaking of beans.
Oh my god. That's loud.
Speaking of beans.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
You're
Anyway,
still yelling.
kind of old guy. Turn it down.
Turn it down.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about this whole contactless drive-through thing. Because today I ordered a pizza for Janet and I and her sister. And it says the whole time I'm ordering it online, oh, your drive-through will be contactless. Your delivery will be contactless.
Your drive-through.
So it'll be contactless. And I'm already like, well, it's kind of wrong already.
Is that what you meant on this?
What?
On our script that we have?
Contactless drive-through?
Did you mean like contactless delivery?
No.
Oh,
I'm talking about
okay.
the drive-through.
Okay.
But
I thought that was
But it's along the same lines, though.
Gotcha.
But I was already like, well, it's not contactless anyway, because guess what? The guy still has to hand me the pizza.
Right.
So I'm still making contact with him there.
Right.
And it's the same thing with the contactless drive-throughs. When you go, you still have to hand them your card. But some places are weird. They'll give you a tray. You know, they'll like have a bucket and you just dump the card in there, right?
I've seen that, yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh.
So you either give them the card or you give them whatever. And then when you go up, they'll either give you the bag itself, but like the person has a glove on, right?
Yeah.
Or they'll give you your bag in a bucket and they'll have the drink in the bucket too.
Oh, yeah.
And you could tell like they're all trying not to like drop the drink and shit too, which makes me laugh because I kind of hope they do. That way they have to remake all my shit. But anyway, when it's they're giving you the card, right? I give them the card, they swipe it or whatever. A bunch of them still don't have gloves on, which is weird.
What?
Because a lot of people are like just giving the machine, and you know you put the card in there,
Right.
and that's it. And here's another thing about the fucking chip. We've had these chip things now for years already. It surprises me that some people still don't know how to fucking use this thing.
Oh, yeah. Just
like,
put it in.
How stupid are you people?
Yeah.
And it's not just old people, I'll tell you that.
Oh, no.
Because there's regular people that are like, oh, is it the chip? I don't know how to use it. What do? You put it in the slot?
Do you have a chip?
Oh, well, yeah. And then they always try to use the excuse, oh, these chips are new, just haven't gotten used to it yet. They're not new. They've been around for a long time already.
I know, right?
All right. But anyway, so I got to thinking, and this kind of maybe falls in line with the whole GTP conspiracy thing, that this whole contactless drive-through, you see a lot of things now where it says, oh, there's a national coin shortage.
Right.
And there's no coins, so either give exact change or pay with only your card. And Dutch Bros, I saw online that they're only taking card now. They don't take cash at all anymore.
Wow.
So if you go up there and you order and you don't have, your card and you only have cash, you can't get it.
Damn, that's crazy.
So I was starting to think that maybe this is like part of like that the theory where you hear about they're trying to phase out cash, in general, and have that whole one world currency thing, because then they'll be able to track everything you buy.
Right.
Which even means yard sales and stuff like that, right?
Right.
You have to have like a little card swiper or something to have a yard sale, and then when that person buys it, they have to swipe their card, and it says, oh, $5 for lamp, whatever it is, for whatever you bought.
Yeah.
But they're able to track every single thing that you buy. So I don't know, like, am I weird for thinking that or putting that kind of connection together? Because I mean, it does have some validity to it.
Well, no, because the whole thing that I was thinking of the whole time was the whole point of having contactless drive-through or contactless delivery or just stuff like that is just to create a contactless society. Is literally so that when growing up for us, going to school, basically all it really did was set us up to basically work 9 to 5s. It wasn't set up for you to be an entrepreneur and own your own business and do your own finances and stuff. It was literally just to wake up, go to school, come back, go to sleep, wake up, go to school, come back, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, come back, go to sleep. You know what I mean? It's like, so now where we're at in time is, when kids start going back to school, they're literally going to be in like a hospital setting now where everyone has to stay 6 feet. Everyone's got to wear a mask. So kids are going to get used to that. Kids are going to be used to just wearing masks all the time and feeling like they're in a fucking hospital. And there lies a problem, is the problem of connection. Like, these kids are not going to get as much connection. And I can already tell you this, suicides have gone up a fucking shitload ever since this pandemic started.
You just don't hear anything about it.
No, because they don't want to talk about that. And then also at the same time, abuse has also gone up, because for some of these kids, going to school is the only way they can get away from their abuse at home. Their drunk dad, their drunk mom, their fucked up mom, their fucked up dad, the random fucking uncle that's just jacked the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, we're not asking these questions. We're just worried about ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, anyways, yeah. So without going too much further into that, so I agree with what you're saying, because it all kind of connects regardless. It's going to get to the point where this dollar is we have a coin shortage, so everything's going to inflate up to $1. Nothing's going to be $1.99 anymore. It's just going to be $9, maybe $8 or $5, whatever. Everything's going to be up to that price. There's going to be no change. And then once that's through, it's going to keep going through the singles, 5s, 10s, 15s, 20s, and 50s and whatnot. It's going to just keep going until it gets super inflated, and that's how it gets an easy transition into, well, our fucking currency's trash, so we're going to get another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Easy transition. Just wake up, people. It's all good.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that, of how, like, dude, how are you going to get rid of, and then to piggyback on top of, like, the get rid of all the dollars, you have all this movement going on right now of getting rid of racist stuff and racist people, whatever. But then, you have Andrew Jackson and George Washington, and they're not going to get rid of Abe Lincoln.
No.
There's no way.
No.
But you have George Washington, Andrew Jackson, and Ulysses Grant and shit. And on the dollars, they're going to try to get rid of the dollars. Like, oh, well, why do we need to keep the dollars anyway if we're just going to put more racist people on it?
Right.
Or because, say they do put somebody, I don't know, like a Martin Luther King on there. And then what happens when they finally, all the people find out about, like, him being a womanizer and shit?
Oh, yeah.
They'd be like, oh, well, don't worry, we won't take him off because he wasn't racist.
Yep.
But then it's like, oh, but he still did this. So then you're going to have people arguing about that again. And then, what happens? You're going to take away the dollar. It's like, well, fuck it. There's no problems if we don't have any dollars.
Yeah. And I mean, it gets to a point too where people, because that's kind of the whole point of, like, the media, is to glorify racism in terms of that's the worst thing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where we're at right now. If you're a racist, that's the worst thing you can do. You can go rape people and people won't even care. You can kill somebody and obviously people don't give a fuck. You can be a fucking pedophile and people don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I just saw something where, like, this mayor from some town or whatever, and he was condemning all the people that were racist or whatever, and then he started talking about pedophiles or whatever, and he's like, these are the people that we need to stand up for, because they're the people that are like shunned for loving who they love and stuff like that. And you're like, what the fuck are you saying? Do you understand who they're loving? Or do you understand what they're trying to do?
That's just yeah. And again, I've been saying this for fucking years. And here's, I guess it's time to get into a little bit of a conspiracy here, because I'm gonna go kind of deep into this one. So good. I'm not here to completely disregard the LGBTQ community in terms of what their movement is and what it stands for. People, I know that for plenty of people, it recognizes something completely different, like your freedom and your equality that you've been fighting for plenty of years. However, let me just say this: the media and the people who actually run and call the shots in the world do not support your movement unless there is a backup plan, unless there's a motive. And the motive throughout all this has been to get pedophilia to be accepted worldwide. And the reason, and it's literally, we're literally at that point now where, before it was like, okay, you were gay or you were bi, lesbian, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. People are those orientations. Then it started getting into some other gray areas personally that I feel like kind of being transsexual and stuff like that. It's kind of a gray area in terms of like how everything would work. And obviously you're not judging people, and I'm not trying to judge people. I'm just saying it's kind of a gray area. But then it goes from there and it continues to go on and on and on. And we're getting to the point where people are literally fighting for pedophilia. And to me, that's scary. Not only is it scary, I think the people who actually give a damn about the movement, like they want, like gays and lesbians and people who are bisexual and the rest of it to be able to live their life and normally and equally. This has nothing to do with that. This is completely run and driven by the small population that has the biggest voices. And here's the thing. I've been talking about this for fucking years and fucking years. But the whole thing becomes is that, well, you're just a conspiracy theorist. You're just one of those. Well, guess what, motherfucker? I was right again. So here we go. What do we do next? You just fight. You got to fight for these fucking kids. Stop worrying about your fucking race. Stop worrying about your fucking work. Stop worrying about what the fucking president said. Stop worrying about, all this other shit. Doesn't fucking matter. The kids are what fucking matter the most. And if you want to fucking tell me anything different, you can quite frankly go fuck yourself, because I don't give a damn. Because if you ever think that I would let any of my nieces or nephews be abused in that way because you think it's okay, you best believe that I'm gonna fucking take your head off and be okay with it, and I will spend the rest of my fucking life in jail. I don't give a damn, because it will happen, because this is where we're going right now. There's a lot of people that are outraged by the shit that's been going on recently, but guess what? It's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep happening. And they're going to keep pushing until it becomes normalized. And then I want to see those people, the same fucking people that were talking all that shit. I want to see them. I want to see what they have to say for themselves. Because again, this is not the only thing that's fucking happening right now. There's so much other shit that's happening behind the fucking scenes.
All right.
You can't even say pedophile on fucking YouTube either.
Yeah.
Because that's now censored as well.
So,
fuck you. No.
So, to get you heated up even more,
shit.
You got red ass Chris over here. Did you see or hear anything about the Wayfair website?
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, Wayfair.com is a site that sells furniture and other home stuff like that. And they had items on there. For example, they had cabinets that on the first page of the site would be maybe $40-$50. You go pages inwards, it's the same exact cabinets, the picture there, except these cabinets are somehow $12,000.
Yep.
And each item, just like IKEA, has different names. So this one could be the Sanchez, this one could be the Hernandez cabinet style, but it would be the same one, but it would have a different name. And those names coincided with missing children's names that were on the National Registry of Missing Children's. And all of these children's names were from the last 3 months of this year.
Recently.
So it wasn't like, a name from maybe 2016 or 2018 or anything like that. They were recent names of recent kids that had been recently either kidnapped or had just gone missing. And Wayfair had a lot of items with a lot of names that coincidentally matched with the missing children for sale.
Yep.
So what do you want to say about that?
So not only was it cabinets, but they actually had a bunch of throw pillows as well that had price tags that were fucking 12, 14, 15,
yeah, just other home good items like that.
And apparently, I haven't looked into it myself, but apparently there was some Amazon stuff too that was like that. But yeah, so I think the biggest thing becomes,
I had heard Walmart too.
Okay, and that wouldn't surprise me at all, honestly. But the thing I've seen people literally back it up, well, Wayfair said it's not real, but of course Wayfair is gonna fucking deny it. But here's the
yeah, why are you gonna believe them just because they said
Yeah, right. If you go and killed somebody and they were like, "Did you kill somebody?" and no, oh, he didn't kill anybody. You know what I mean?
He must be telling the truth.
Yeah, must be telling the truth. So here's a little bit of knowledge for y'all. If you look up the word waif, WAIF, it means a child who is neglected and basically, raised, without parents or whatever, and they're basically sold as kids, kids that were, neglected and broken and emotionally just destroyed as kids. That's what waif means. You can look it up, WAIF. Look it up yourself. And then fair, we all know what a fair is.
Where you buy stuff.
Yeah. So no, not where you buy stuff. A fair, like if you were gonna pay a fare to get on
gotcha.
a ferry or like a boat or the bus fare, it literally means to buy something to transport people.
Yeah, I have the
Wayfare.
I have the definition for waif right here, and it says a homeless, neglected, or abandoned person, especially a child. That's the straight up definition
It's just
for it.
it's like fucking coincidence. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's fucking crazy, dude. Like there's so many coincidences going on right now. Even before we had the whole Pizzagate thing going down, like that is fucking nuts too. But the thing that kind of like makes me like kind of laugh a little bit is the simple fact that you have like these websites like the fact-checking websites, Snopes.com. Like if you go there, they'll fact check everything for you, right? Or Facebook has a fact checker now. You know what I mean?
Too, yeah.
They have a fact checker, and it's a complete joke. Because here's the thing: is that when people started posting up the Wayfair thing, the very next day, they were getting fact checked as well. It says that it's not true, and blah 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 blah, this and that. And all I was thinking of is the FBI can go anywhere from a month to years doing investigations on serious shit like this. And then come to a conclusion and let you know. But Facebook took less than 24 hours to fact check it.
Yeah, because I was wondering
Fuck out of here.
I was wondering who these Twitter fact check people were. Like, how is it that they're able to figure stuff out so fast on a random topic, that might be trending, but then you have cases from FBI, CIA that go years without a lead or anything like that. It kind of doesn't make sense. And who are these fact checkers anyway? Do you have any information on them?
So the only one that I've actually paid attention to, because it was the one that made it was like one of the first ones that I seen, one of the first sources where they get fact checked from. It's literally USA Today, a newspaper. That's literally one of their fact checkers. A fucking newspaper is a fucking fact checker, dude. Like, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. A fucking newspaper, people, is your fact checker. And people like see this shit on Facebook and on Twitter, and it literally and Instagram too. Like, it's popping up on Instagram because it's owned by Facebook. But it's just like, dude, like, these sources are fucking trash. Like, again, they're just saying, oh, well, Wayfair said no, so it's all good. You know what I mean? And again, I was mentioning the Snopes thing because, a lot of these big fucking companies did this shit for Pizzagate. They were like, well, it says here that blah, 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 this and that, so it's not real. Snopes denied it. Snopes is actually owned by one of the fucking, I forgot who it was. Somebody that was close to Bill Gates, from what I remembered.
What is Snopes? Is it just like a
It's literally like a fact-checking website.
Ah, okay.
It's like, did you see this on the internet? Did you see this meme on the internet? Well, let's look to see if it's real. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like a fact-checking thing. But like when you look things up like yourself and you actually research, you'll find the facts that they're hiding, but buried deep in the fucking like back of Google. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, dude. Like, It's fucking nuts.
Okay, and then one more thing too is you hear about all the like the child trafficking stuff like that, and then you hear about the people involved in it. Jimmy Kimmel and Ellen DeGeneres being two of them. They just got their shows canceled, and the reason they said that their shows were canceled was because of ratings. That nobody was watching them.
Yeah, right.
So, what would be your response to that if it wasn't ratings?
They're getting caught up. They're getting fucking caught up for their. So here's the thing, a lot of people are gonna be. So here's like the thing is that right now there is a person. I don't know how to say her first name, like Ghislaine Maxwell, who just got fucking hooked up, basically, and booked. She's going to start talking. And when she does, there's going to be names that are going to be dropped that are going to like blow your fucking mind, because here's the thing.
Wasn't she married to somebody?
Oh man.
She was married to somebody that was involved with all this, and that's how she kind of was in on it.
I don't remember
Right?
who it was. I know she was like, she worked for Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay.
She worked for him. But the thing is that when these celebrities start coming out, it's gonna get wild, because people are either going to completely deny it because it's like their favorite celebrity ever. Oh my God, I can't believe that. Oh, you can't say that. Because, I mean, I've heard shit about, I mean, I'm sorry to say it for a lot of you people out there, but I've heard stuff about Kobe Bryant. Like, and that was one of the big things. Like, a lot of people started to see, you know, what it is that actually happened, and they're super covering it up. No, I'm not saying or confirming or denying that it actually happened, but I'm just saying Kobe was like one of the people that I looked up to the most growing up. So then it was like, it really becomes one of those things where you're like, you have to really be ready, because when these names start dropping, it's going to get fucking wild, and people are going to go through this whole fucking thing of, well, you know, I looked up to this person and they're pedophiles, you know what I mean? Like, just be ready. That's all I can really say, is just be mentally prepared for the shit fuck that's going to be coming. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, it seems like, but what would be the reason though, to take Kimmel and DeGeneres off of TV, if they're going to try to deny it anyway? Because obviously the reason to take them off would be to get them out of like the public eye, right?
Right.
So what would be the reason to take them off even though they're going to deny it?
Save the company's ass. The company gets in front of it before everybody else, pulls them off, and then so when this shit starts getting big, and these people in like Jimmy Kimmel or Ellen DeGeneres are found to be guilty of part of it, that the companies are like, well, we did what we had to do. Even though the companies fucking knew about it.
Sure.
The companies know about this shit. Like, they're big fucking companies with fucking billions of dollars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, I just read something that what's the guy that played in the Lord of the Rings? The guy with the big old eyes.
oh man, I don't know his name.
But you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Fuck, I gotta look him up. But anyway, Gandalf.
Bobby Boucher. Mike Wazowski.
Well, anyway, he basically said, like, he's like, one of the things you're gonna see with stuff like this is the people that control all of these studios in Hollywood. A lot of their money comes from child trafficking and stuff like that. Like, that's how they're able to put up fronts for all of this stuff. You know, like, how do you think they have so much capital to begin
Right.
with? Elijah Wood, that was his name.
Oh,
Elijah Wood,
okay.
yeah. And then of all people too, one of the people that a lot of people hate, Mel Gibson. He said basically the same thing. He's like, yeah, studios know all about this stuff. He's like, but they keep it quiet because, you know, these are people they're making money off of.
Yeah.
So it's kind of coming from all angles. Then it seems.
It's especially in the movie industry, in the TV show industry. Like, there's been a lot of allegations over the years that people swept under the rug, and you know, there's also a lot of you know, like celebrity kids that were, you know, in movies and stuff like that earlier in their careers and their lives that are coming out now. People either aren't believing it, or they're just like, whatever, I don't give a fuck. But the fact that people aren't giving a fuck about this issue, because this issue is like one of the biggest issues, because it has to do with children. Like, it doesn't have to do with whether the child is black. It doesn't have to do with whether the child is gay or bi. It doesn't have to do with whether the child is poor or rich. It's a fucking child.
Yeah.
It's a fucking child. They have no idea what's going on. Some of these kids are like raised to have sex with these old fucking dudes, and they have no idea that it's wrong.
Yeah. And then they're just killed.
Yeah. That's
They're
it.
just discarded, you know, like
Just fucking gotten rid of.
just a used bag, you know, just toss in the garbage. That's it.
It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. And people still think we don't have a fucking problem.
Yeah.
They want to be all worried about the pandemic and I don't want to catch the COVID. well, fucking catch these hands instead. Like, these motherfuckers are doing some crazy ass shit, and we haven't even got into the whole pandemic thing. Like,
No.
there's a lot of shit behind that too. That, I mean, a lot of people have seen, I'm sure, and just denied it and whatnot because, you know, they wouldn't lie to me, of course.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, but other than that, this whole thing is fucking getting insane. Like,
Yeah.
and it's gonna get crazier as the year goes on. Trust me, it's gonna get fucking wild.
Especially if you have people that are stuck at home. They're going to just be doing nothing but research. They have nothing but time right now.
They fucked themselves when they took sports out of everything.
Yeah.
When they took sports out of everything, when they canceled sports, people started waking up even more because that all they had was time. They didn't have sports to distract them. They tried to make the news distract them. It worked for a little bit with the whole, you know, George Floyd thing, and they fucking made that thing big, super big. But they weren't getting the ratings for like the whole, you know, pandemic thing. Like it did at first, and then that dropped off. And then people are like,
tired of it.
yeah. And then, well, like, what else are people supposed to do? They don't have sports. There's nothing else going on. So of course they're gonna start looking into shit. And of course, when people start researching things, they see things they didn't know.
That's
and
right.
then they start making connections. And guess what, people? You can think for yourself. An expert doesn't have to tell you your hand has 5 fingers. Some of you don't have 5 fingers. I understand. You know, it's just obvious shit that experts or anybody that is paid like an expert or a doctor, it just doesn't, they don't have to tell you this shit. Like, you can figure it out yourself. You have a brain. It's okay to think.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And it's one of those things, too, you always read a report and it says, experts say, well, who are these experts?
Yeah.
And what exactly are they saying? What are they saying?
Studies show.
Yeah, what studies? Who did the study, right? But they never tell you.
Oh, and if they do, it's usually like a Harvard study. Who's also, there's also a conspiracy with Harvard too. Like, where they're, I think, I don't know. It has to do with, I think it has to do with their they like traffic like minorities and shit through there. It's like
Really?
crazy, some crazy shit.
Huh. Well, you know what? So let's go ahead and get off of that.
I want to get off.
It's this has basically been a preview of what you can expect for the GTP conspiracy show. But let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and give off a couple of the topics we're gonna do for the conspiracy show.
Okay.
And then just give us like a little like thing of like what we can expect from it.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So JFK.
What you can expect from JFK is a pretty intense, unsolved mystery of basically it was a conspiracy theory that turned into a conspiracy theory that turned into another conspiracy theory. There was conspiracy theories created just to cover up actual conspiracies that were going on. So you can expect a lot of fucking information and a lot of different point of views when it comes to that.
9/11.
9/11. What you can expect from 9/11 is something that a lot of people don't want to hear. I mean, more people were probably susceptible to, would be more susceptible to believing it now, because before a lot of people just felt like it was a national security issue. It was a this is America, we're America issue. But now that America is being brought down, and 9/11 will be too, there's honestly not that many conspiracies about 9/11. A lot of it is pretty much the same.
Now, let me be honest here for everybody listening. 9/11 is probably my favorite conspiracy theory ever, because there's so many facts given about what happened that aren't in like the official report, and there's so many holes in like what the official report says. Mostly about like thermite and how these buildings could fall so fast and fall in just a straight line, basically, not falling to the side or anything like that. And then everything after that is just fascinating. I just find 9/11 so fascinating.
9/11.
The next one, Freemasons.
Oh, shit. So, for a lot of people who know about the Freemasons, just casually, I should say. So, the Freemasons, to a lot of people casually, is just an organization where people go to talk about certain things, like within the community, make changes, build things, and just do a bunch of stuff. Or a lot of people go to hang out and meet other people, pretty much. But the base of Freemasonry has a lot to do with numerology and certain types of religions and a lot of ideology as well, but on a higher level. And I know Freemasons who know about this stuff, and let me tell you, it's gonna be fucking wild to hear what they had to say, because I'm gonna talk about it for sure. I'm not gonna say who they are, obviously, but the thing is that when you start coming across Freemasons, you start to notice that more and more of the people that are in charge, more and more of the people that are CEOs, have billions and trillions of dollars, are in fact Freemasons. Why? I don't know. You just have to find out.
Jesus.
Oh, man. So all I can really say about that is what you said on the commercial. What did he really look like? What was his actual name? When was he actually born?
Okay. MK Ultra.
So MK Ultra has to do with something that a lot of people have only seen in movies, where they see somebody sit down and somebody implants something in their head. They start walking around and boom, someone takes control of them and they start walking around. Oh, now I have control of this person. I can do whatever I want. But what they don't realize is that that is not the only way of brainwashing. Brainwashing can be done in plenty of different ways, whether it be a sound, a sound that would, give you an impulse to do something, or it would be somebody telling you something so many times till you finally believe it. It could be anything from, telling people, basically brainwashing people into occults and shit like that. This MK Ultra is a pretty wide subject. And again, when people hear the word brainwash, they think, oh, well, it's just going to be, they just probably think it's like some guy that he's controlling people's minds with his mind. It's nah, it's not like that, yo. The movies aren't going to give you justice on how much of a realistic scale this is.
All right, two more. The Boston bombing.
Oh, shit. Oh, man. Okay, so the Boston bombing was definitely a very tragic day for a lot of people, emotionally. But to the ones who sought out for the truth to see what actually happened, you can find pictures, videos of stuff that actually happened while you were there that would say otherwise to what actually happened. It's crazy.
And I've seen a few of them too. Pretty crazy.
Crazy stuff.
And the last one, 5G.
Oh, man. So a lot of people will say, well, 5G, you're so stupid because microwaves emit more radiation than 5G does. And this and that, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that should hopefully get you thinking. There is currently security systems that people have that are usually more so wealthier to basically keep safe all of their expensive and sentimental items, where these security systems are based off frequencies. They don't need people there to guard the door or anything like that. If you go through this tripwire or whatever it is, these frequencies would go off that you can't even hear, and it would be so bad to where you become disoriented and vomiting. And the thing comes down to with 5G is that it's not about what it's emitting, it's about how it's being used. Because just like a microwave, it's not about what it's emitting, it's about how it's being used. So I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, and one thing I like to add to that too is when you hear 5G and you see like all these towers getting built or whatever, pay attention to the wildlife around it, and also pay attention to the plant life around it, because that'll give you a good indication of how it's going to affect human life. Because obviously, plant life is more sensitive than we are, and obviously, wildlife you always hear about. Oh, well, they're always the first to know,
right?
So pay attention to that. But yeah, so there's your preview for the GTP conspiracy show. Keep an eye out and an ear out for it. It'll be on the same feed, same stream. So you don't have to go looking for it or whatever. It'll just pop up right here where you listen to the good old show. And this was supposed to be the good old show until it turned into this. But,
Yeah, dude.
But hey, you know what? That's just the way we are. This is as real as it gets. And so are we.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, thank you for listening to the show, everybody. Executioner, where can they find you if you want to give it out?
First and foremost, I want to thank Yeshua and Elohim for allowing me to do this.
Oh, hang on real quick. And when you listen to the show, the conspiracy show, I'll ask Chris here, what does he mean by saying Yeshua?
And Elohim.
Because some people are like, oh, I don't know what that means. Well, listen to the conspiracy show and I'll ask them.
And I'll tell you.
Maybe.
So again, maybe. So again, yeah. So thank you, Yeshua and Elohim, for allowing me to do this. I also want to thank each and every one of you for listening. I really hope that the conspiracy preview kind of gave you a preview into what we were doing, and I hope that it keeps you intrigued. I hope that you understand that I'm not just making shit up, and that a lot of this shit comes from plenty of research for plenty of years that's been going on. I'm not just pulling this shit out of my ass, and I'm not fucking reading off a script, I'll tell you that much. So thank you again for listening. Let people know about our podcast and the upcoming GTP Conspiracy podcast. Let them know what's going on. And yeah, so if you want to find me on the social stuff, all you got to do is go to thegoodtimespodcast.com and hit the about button. You can scroll down to where my picture is with my beautiful belt. And all you have to do is just hit the Facebook button, hit the Instagram button, hit the Snapchat button, add me, add him, and oh yeah, that's your line. Anyways, or that's what you're supposed to do. But yeah, so all that good stuff. What about you, Jack? Where can they find you?
Well, first I want to say that Executioner here definitely isn't reading off of a script, because there's no room on his desk for a script. There's no room for a script at all. Okay, but if you want to add me on the social stuff, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at BSALSANCHEZ. Add me there. Let's talk. Let's hang out and do whatever. Don't forget to go to thegoodtimespodcast.com, where you can listen to all the past shows. They're shareable, listenable, and do whateverable you want to do. And thank you for listening to the show. Don't forget to tune in next week, where we'll have another episode of Good Times.
Tonight.